Okay, so thank you guys for jumping on the call tonight. I just want to let you guys know that our Diamond Academy did start this past Monday. So if you're looking to reach Diamond or you have coaches looking to reach Diamond, make sure you join in that group. If you haven't seen it in our private coaching group, sorry, my phone goes crazy when I start talking. Then just let me know and I'll add you guys in. Our 3-day refresh team-wide group is starting this coming Monday too. So if you are looking to do the 3-day refresh or you have customers, challengers, whatever, make sure you join that and make sure you add them in too. We'll be starting on Monday. I don't know if any of you on here are going to Summit, but if you are, we have a few days left to register for the tracks if you're going. If you're not going, make sure you make it a priority to go next year because it's a life-changing event. I went for the first time this past year, and it was crazy. It's so motivating. Definitely make it, a priority to go to that. And then lastly, the Beachbody Challenge. I get the emails all the time for it, and you can vote for winners, and they actually announce the winners at Summit on the stage at our event, and it was so cool watching, the two people win $100,000 last year, $100,000 each, and they won right on stage. We got to, listen to their story and see their whole fitness journey. So make sure you go vote because it's kind of cool. You can go in teambeachbody.com and just click on Beachbody Challenge, and it'll give you all the contestants, their backstory, weight loss story, all that, and you can vote for whoever you want. So make sure you do that. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce Caitlin Metz. She is a 2-star diamond. She's actually going to be 4-star diamond next week now, I believe it is, which is cool. 2 to 4, that's awesome. She was a 2015 Premier Coach, and she is a Success Club 10 All-Star. And she's going to be talking to us about doubling our Success Club points. So I'm very, very interested in listening to her points on that. So I'm going to go ahead and mute myself and let her talk.
Hi guys, thank you so much for having me. I am so pumped about today's topic, and I know that Success Club is something we all either struggle with or we love it. I don't feel like there's any in between. And for me, I've just grown to love Success Club because I really, truly have found that that's the way to grow your business and to find true and tangible success in this business. So I'm going to talk to you about how to actually double your Success Club points. And I don't just say this just for fun. I'm not just talking out just because it sounds fun to double your successful points. I'm telling you this because I've done it. And so I want to show you how I've done it and what that looks like and what has been the biggest change in me and my business and what I'm doing to truly actually double my Success Club points. So before I do that though, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to share with you guys a little bit about me. Can you guys see my slides? Cool. Okay, so my name is Caitlin. I live in Tennessee. I've been a coach for about 2 years now, and I want to share with you guys a little bit about how I got started with coaching and how I got where I am today. So I've been a coach for 2 years. I found my coach randomly on Instagram. I didn't really know her, and here's how I found her. I was actually in an insanity challenge group before my wedding. And I wanted to lose weight for my wedding, so I got Insanity, I got Shakeology. I loved it. I was so into it, but my coach approached me about coaching, and I was like, no, that's weird. That's sales things. I don't want to host parties. I don't want to do that weird thing. That's so icky. I was not into sales. I had watched my sister go through a couple direct sales companies, and I just was like, no, not interested at all. So I got married. And I graduated college within the same month. And then 2 days after my wedding, I packed up and moved to Texas with my husband. He was in the military full time. He's just part-time now, but he was active duty Army. And so we moved to Texas. And so I found myself with all of these big life changes. I had just graduated from college. I had just gotten married and moved to a new state all within 1 month. And then I started a brand new full-time job in elementary education. And of course, in my mind, I was like, this is so cool. Adult life, what's up? I have a job, I have a husband, we have our new house, I'm done with college. This is awesome. I got a couple weeks into my job and I'm like, this is not awesome anymore. I was coming home feeling just like totally exhausted, because it's exhausting working full time. It's exhausting working with kids full time, and not getting paid too much to do it. And then coming home and having a home to take care of, to doing laundry, cooking dinner, all of those things. And just feeling like this is not what life should be about. Like, I should not be counting down the days till the weekend. I felt like I was just living for the weekend every single day, and I just felt stuck. And so one night I was scrolling through Instagram. I had followed a couple of Beachbody coaches for motivation while I was doing Insanity. So I was scrolling through and I was just following these coaches, and I saw a post up from a girl I'd followed for a while. I thought what she did was cool as a coach. And like I said, that's not for me, but I'll follow. Like, your posts are motivating me. And the way she worded the coaching opportunity, I don't know why, it just stuck with me. And I had this feeling that I needed to message her and talk with her. So I got signed up to be a coach, and I went to Summit 2 months later as a brand new coach and just never looked back. And here I am today. And so that's kind of how I got into coaching. That was 2 years ago. And now I am a full-time coach. I'm also a dance teacher. I do that a couple of nights a week, and it's super fun. But now I just want to share with you guys the content, the Success Club information that I'm going to give you on how I've doubled my Success Club points. So I'm going to show you guys a little graphic. So this is my Success Club points from 2015 and my Success Club points this year in 2016. So as you can see, I've truly more than doubled my Success Club points. And so I wanted to show you guys this so you knew that I was not just talking for fun. And the reason I started in May of 2015 was for a reason. And I think some of you might be able to relate. So in May of 2015, I was a diamond coach. I had been a diamond coach for a few months. I was feeling a little bit stuck in my business. I was getting ready to go to Summit that summer. And there was the Success Club party coming up. And in order to go to the Success Club party last year, you had to have Success Club 10 in May and in June to get to go to that party. And so as a diamond coach, this is my second summit. I was like, I've got to be at that party. Like, I didn't go last year because I was a brand new coach. And so I told my team about it. We were on fire. We're all going to this party. And I missed it. I hit Success Club 6, and I did not get invited to the Success Club party at Summit. And that was just a big gut punch for me. It was kind of a wake-up call. Like, what am I doing as a leader where I can't even hit Success Club 10 in my business when there's such a huge incentive on the table? Something was missing. And it took me a while to figure it out. But after that month, I decided 10 was my new standard. I was going to hit Success Club 10. I was going to hit it no matter what. And I did every single month for the rest of the year. But something clicked between and January, and I realized that I wasn't doing enough, and that by making my goal Success Club 10, I wasn't just selling myself short and selling my business short, but I was putting a limit and a cap on the amount of people that I could help through this incredible opportunity that we have with Beachbody. And I just realized. And so January, I went pedal to the metal. I went full force. I started implementing a few things in my business that were different and that were new, and that took a little bit of effort. But as you can see in my numbers, they've been worth it, and I've been able to bring in so many more people into my business. And so I want to show you guys. I also want to point out, by the way, 2015, if you see in July here, I had a big month, SC20. That's because that was the month of Summit. So if you're questioning the power of Summit, go to Summit. It's amazing. Okay, so let's get into the meat of the call, because I'm sure you guys are thinking that's cool for you. Let's hear how do you actually do this? Okay, so the first tip I can give you, I have 5 points, and I'm going to try not to take too long to go through them, is to lead with confidence. Confidence is the biggest thing that I was missing. I did not always have confidence in my business. I was often afraid to push posts on certain things. I was often afraid to talk to people, to invite people, to have a simple conversation with people about what I was offering in a challenge group or what I was offering in a coaching opportunity. And I was finding that I was very apologetic. And so the first thing I can say is that you have to lead with confidence and be unapologetic. So this means you're not apologizing on your social media. You don't feel guilty for pushing posts when you're sharing a workout or sharing a health tip. And even if you get 5 likes, that could have helped somebody. So I don't know why we would feel guilty for that, or why we would feel like we have to apologize. Sorry, I know I've been posting a lot about Beachbody lately, but I wanted to share this, right? I used to think, people get annoyed with me and I really don't want to post this. Or sorry guys, I don't normally post things like this, but I have a challenge group coming up. Would anybody want to join? Like I was kind of apologizing for what I was doing. And then in my conversations, I was also apologizing. And this is where I think a lot of people get stuck. I was having conversations, especially people that I knew like really well personally, because I felt like awkward trying to get them to sign up for my challenge group, or awkward trying to talk to them about coaching because I didn't want them to feel pressured or like they had to buy from me just because I was their friend or just because they knew me. And so I was being really apologetic in my conversations. And here's what that looks like, saying like, following up and saying like, hey, I'm sorry to bug you again. Or I know you're really busy, but, or, hey girl, I just want to see if you're still interested in the challenge group I'm hosting. It's okay if you're not, just let me know. And just kind of apologizing and not really leading with that confidence that what you have to give and what you have to offer is valuable and should be heard. And I was really apologizing. So be unapologetic in your conversations and in your social media posts. Be confident in what you're offering. We are not selling people a saran wrap that can make them skinny, or diet pills, or like a magic powder. We literally have, like in a challenge pack, it's a box, and it comes with something that can literally change somebody's life forever. And I know that it can because it's changed mine. And you guys probably can say the same thing, that these programs and Shakeology and this coaching opportunity has probably changed your life forever. And there are so many things in your life that would be different if you didn't have it in your life, right? So think about that. We're not offering a box of empty tricks or empty promises or magic tricks. This is something that it's nutrition, it's workouts, it's accountability, it's everything. This isn't like a scam. This is real. We're offering people a real life change. So be confident in that. Do the programs yourself. If you're not doing a program yourself, or if you haven't done a program yourself from start to finish, you need to. It's so easy for me to talk to people about the 21-day fix because I got really good results with it. And I love it, right? Like I love that I lost like 6 inches in my waist. I love that I lost 10 pounds with the 21-day fix. Like that's amazing. That did so much for me. And so it's easy for me to share that because I love it. I got great results. I'm confident sharing with people because I know it works and I know it'll change their life because it changed mine. If you don't have that, if you aren't doing a program right now, you're not going to find that it's easy to talk to people about the programs because you're going to be, maybe you did one like a year ago and you haven't really stuck to one lately. That's not enough. You got to be doing the programs right now because doing that will make you so confident because you love it. You love the way it makes you feel. It's easy to talk about it. Same thing with your Shakeology. I love Shakeology. I love the way it makes me feel. I love the way it tastes. My husband is obsessed with it. We both drink it every day. It's easy for us to talk to people about it because we drink it. Like we love it. It's part of our life. It's part of our day. And I can be confident to share that with people because I drink it. Lead with value. Like I said, we're not selling people a box of magic tricks. This is a life change. So if you lead with the value of the programs, the value of the product, it's not leading with the price or leading with the time commitment or anything like that. You're leading with the value of the programs, which the value of them is that without health, you don't have anything. If your health is taken from you, you don't have a life. And that is valuable to people. People want to live long, healthy, happy lives with their families and their friends and their careers. And if they don't have their health, they can't do that. And that is value. So lead with that. Okay, point number 2. The fortune is in the follow-up. We've all heard this 5,000 times, but I want you to know you're not annoying. So stop thinking you're annoying when you follow up with people. And this is especially true for those people in your life that like, they're interested in a challenge group and all of a sudden it like freaks you out because you know them so well and like you don't want to bug them. You don't want them to feel pressure. Like I said, how many of you like feel a little bit more awkward when you're talking to like a close friend or family member about it because you feel like you don't want them to feel pressure, like they have to buy it from you. You don't want to disappoint them if it doesn't get them the best results, or you don't want to disappoint them if they join as a coach and it's not for them and they spent this money or done this. Like we don't want to disappoint the people that are closest to us. And so for me, at least, I find that it's harder to talk to them and it's harder to follow up with them because I don't want them to feel pressured. I don't want them to feel like I'm bugging them. But listen, you're not annoying. So stop thinking you're annoying. Our Success Club emergency, I need $40 more on my check this week emergency is not their emergency. They're not thinking about Success Club. They're not checking their Facebook notifications 25 times a day like us coaches do, right? So it's quite possible and probable that they just opened your message and then a kid started crying or they were at work and they had to take a call, or they were cleaning the house and they read it and thought, okay, I want to respond later. And they just forgot because life gets really busy and they're not up in their phones all day like us coaches are. And so we're really sensitive to that when that happens, but that's not how people think. People are just busy. Like, we live in a distracting, busy world. So when someone doesn't respond to your message and you're nervous that, if they wanted to sign up, they would just message me back. It's probably not the case. Don't be nervous to follow up if you're not annoying. And of course, if you want to take a picture or a screenshot, these are some examples of follow-ups that I use every single day. So I always end pretty much with a question. In the first two, you can see that I'm ending in a question, because that's going to get you a response most likely, because you've asked them a question. And then the last one, I want you to see my language that I use in the last sentence. I say, I wanted to follow up with you, see if you had a chance to get signed up for the group yet. And then I end it with, I'm so excited for us to get started on Monday. Here's what that language does to people. That is language that says, I already know you're doing it. Like, these are for people who have, like, you've sent the link and they don't buy it yet. Like, they haven't signed up yet. You've sent them the link and you're like, where are they? I need those last 2 points. And when that happens and they fall off the face of the planet, and the message is like this, because I'm using language that says, you've already committed. Like, I'm not letting you quit. I'm not letting you go MIA and change your mind. I'm excited. We're getting started Monday and you're part of it. So this language says that they've committed and they can't change their mind. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Okay, so let's move on. Point number 3. I'm talking so fast because I drank Energize before this. And so if I'm talking really fast and you have a question, type it in the chat box and I'll get to it, I promise. Okay, so connect the cost to their why. You have to always connect the cost to their why. So when somebody asks you about your challenge group or about coaching, ask them about their goals before you ever introduce a cost to them. And you guys probably know this. I'm sure you guys have great training on challenge groups, but I just want to go over it again, because sometimes hearing it from a different perspective and a different voice can really resonate with somebody. So ask them about their goals before you introduce the cost. So these are questions that I ask. What does your fitness routine and nutrition look like right now? What has worked for you in the past? What would you love to achieve through this accountability group? And these are questions that allow me to get to know them without just assuming that they would love the 21-day fix or assuming that they would love size. I'm getting to know what they need and what their needs are and what they're hoping to achieve. And the reason I do that is so I can recommend a great program for them, but also so I know their goals. So that if they come at me with a price objection, or if they change their mind, how you want to buy something and you sleep on it and you wake up the next day and you're like, I don't really need that much. It's just kind of heat of the moment. I thought I wanted to do it. I'm not going to let them change their mind because I already know their goals. So I'm going to remind them of that later in the conversation. So if they do give you a price objection about the cost, you can just say, I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same way when I got started with my first program. What I found was that these programs are designed to produce results. And because I was seriously happy with my results, the investment was totally worth it. And that's just me relating to them saying, this is expensive, but I'm using feel, felt, found. I know how you feel. I felt the same way, and here's what I found. And this is a really good way to address how people are feeling and then relate to them and really share how you felt in that same scenario. So leverage the money back guarantee. Always leverage that. So I totally understand. The good news is the program comes with full money back guarantee. So if you aren't pleased with your results, you can send it back for a full refund. However, if you're happy with your results, I'd say it was worth every penny. Does that make you feel any better about the cost? And here I am asking another question so that they definitely respond to me. And another thing that you can do in your messages when you have a cost objection is connect the cost to their why. So reiterate their goals. So when you're having a conversation with somebody about your challenge group and they come at you with a price objection, you can say something about their goals. So relate it back to them. You told me you want to lose 10 pounds by your wedding date. I can guarantee you that if you follow the 21-day fix plan, you're going to lose those 10 pounds. You're going to feel amazing in your wedding dress. And if you don't, you will get your money back. Leverage that money back guarantee, leverage that they've shared their goals with you, and don't be ashamed or shy to do that. They shared their goals with you, and the fact that you would repeat their goals back to them shows them that you actually give a crap and you're not just trying to sell them something. It's huge. We miss so many people on the cost objections, and I think if we could just change the way we talk to people, we would help get them signed up instead of just being like, I totally understand, it's okay, I'll write you down for next time. Be confident in talking to them about their goals and don't back down. Hold them accountable to what they just shared with you. Okay, number 4. Ask for referrals. This is something we all missed out on, but I think it's huge. And this could really seriously double your success club points. So ask from your yeses. So the people that join, I'm so excited for us to get started. Do you have any friends or family that would like to do the challenge with you? Some extra accountability and support from a friend could make it more fun. And that is the truth. Like, it's so much easier to do a program if you have somebody like in your real life, not just like your virtual pals from the challenge group, like your mom or your sister or your best friend, doing it with you. Like, they're going to text you every day, like hold you accountable. That can get people so much better results. So don't be afraid to ask. The worst thing that they could say is no. And if that's the case, oh well, they're still signed up for your challenge group. No biggie. It doesn't hurt to ask. Ask from the people who say no. So I understand now is not a good time. I'd be happy to write your name down for next month. Until then, do you know of anyone who would be interested in this month's group? They might say somebody. They might give you a name, or they might have their friend message you. It's worth it to ask, and don't be shy. Just ask. Like I said, the worst thing that could happen is they would say no, which isn't that big of a deal, because as coaches, we have to be resilient to that little word no. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, so number 5 is the biggest one, and this is really honestly what made the biggest difference for me, is just set your bar high. If your bar for yourself is not high, that's where you're messing up. That's where you're barely scraping by with 4 success club points, and it's the 29th, and you're scrambling to get those last 2 points. Or like seeing people hit those high numbers and wondering, why am I not doing that? Like, why can't I hit Success Club 10 or Success Club 20? It's just because your personal bar for yourself, your personal goals, they're not high enough. And when you guys saw my picture of my Success Club points, the biggest difference from December to January wasn't that I started doing anything too crazy. I mean, I did some of these things that I shared with you, but the biggest change was just in my mindset, and that I decided that I was going to set my bar higher. So before you can do that, before you can set your bar high, you got to have your mind right. So if you're not doing your personal development, you need to be doing your personal development. And 2 of the books that I've read this year that have honestly had a huge impact on my business, and those numbers that you saw were the 10X rule. This one's like totally on the subject of setting your bar high for yourself. So please read this if you struggle in that area. It's amazing. And then Crush It by Gary Vaynerchuk. I love everything he does, everything he writes. It will motivate you, and it will help you do that. So get your mind right, and then you'll be able to set your bar high for yourself. Personal development is a vital behavior for a reason, and it is so vital. Okay, so listen, the higher you aim, the higher you will land. The reason that I was hitting barely Success Club 10 every single month in 2015 is because my goal was Success Club 10. That's what my goal was, Success Club 10. And so I hit it. Some months I was at 9 points or 8 points on the last day of the month, and I had to like freaking hustle to get those last 2 points in. But that's because that was my goal. And so, the months where I hit Success Club 10 on the 20th, those next 10 days, I was like, I hit my goal. I'm good. I don't have to talk to any more people. I don't have to invite anybody else. I don't have to do any more follow-ups. I hit my goal. I'm good. And you know what I was doing? I was limiting me, but I was also putting a cap on the amount of people I could have helped in those others. I kept that pace, and had I kept inviting. And so if your goal is Success Club 5 or Success Club 10, you're going to find that it's hard to even hit that goal. You're going to barely scrape by. You're never going to hit higher than that. People will not fall in your lap. We all know that. If you're a coach, you know that customers and coaches don't fall in your lap. They don't sign up by accident. You have to work for every single customer, every single coach that comes into your business, and every single Success Club point. So if your goals were set a little bit higher, imagine how much more people you would help, how much your team would grow, and how much your Success Club points would grow. So that was what I did. I said, you know what? If I set my goal at 10 and I hit 10, I'm going for 30. And that's what I did in January. And so I knew what it took to hit 10. I times it by 3, and I did that much effort. And I hit Success Club, I think 32. It's just because I set my bar higher. I talked to more people, and I knew that I could hit that goal. And every single month since then, I've said, like, you know what? Success Club 30 is the new 10. And that's what I'm going to do. And it takes effort, but if you can find it in your mind, it's really just a mental thing. And if you can figure it out, you all can totally do it. So average will suck the life out of you. Hitting Success Club 5 in your business every month is not very exciting. Like, it's cool that you help 3 people. Like, that's amazing. And those lives are impacted by you. And that's great. And you're still growing your business if you're hitting Success Club 5, but there's nothing really exciting about it, right? Like, it doesn't juice you. It doesn't motivate you to look in your back office and see 5 points. It's kind of like, unless you're a new coach, then that's like totally amazing and exciting. But if you've been in the business for a while, it's not exciting. It becomes a little bit average. It feels like Like, I'm not doing enough. I could be doing more. And it kind of sucks the life out of you. But when you have a goal like Success Club 20, that is like something that will motivate you and pump you up so much. So you have to change your mindset to, instead of like Success Club 5 is hard or Success Club 10 is hard. And I used to feel that same way. It took me 5 months to hit Success Club 5 for the first time in my business. So 5 months. I thought it was hard, but it was only hard because I let myself think that. And because I was thinking that, it just became my reality. But if you change your mindset from Success Club is hard, or I struggle with Success Club, to Success Club 5 is a piece of cake and 10 is the new goal, like 10 is it, then that's what you're going to do. And your mind will start to believe it. And if you can back that goal and that mindset with action, you will double your Success Club points. It's all here and you all have it in you. So that is all I have for you today, but I totally have time for questions if you guys want to ask any, or if there's any coming up in the chat. Oh, the second personal development book was Crush It by Gary Vaynerchuk, for who asked in the chat. Okay.
Awesome. That was so good. Those points were really good. Your Success Club points, those are amazing. Like, seriously, what was it? You're at 32 right now?
Yeah.
June? Like, that's really good. So good. And what was it, 46? The month prior?
Yeah.
Awesome. Good for you. I did have a question, because I found that for me, like, I used to I fill out a business activity tracker, and I used to have on there, like, every day I'm going to invite 3 to 5 new people. And so I found that that didn't work for me. So I wanted to see your point on it. If you thought, do you think it's the amount of people you talk to, you know, in order to get all those Success Club points? Like, just talking, you know, inviting 3 to 5 people a day didn't work for me. I had to boost it up to 10 to 20.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that I like to track, and I don't have a fancy tracker, but I do kind of track how many people I'm signing up into my business, like in my challenge groups and on my team. And I like to kind of look at how many people I'm talking to, how many people are joining the group, how many people are going into my sneak peeks, and compare it to how many are actually following through and signing up. And so what I found was that to hit Success Club 10, I was talking to maybe 5 to 10 people a day, and I was hitting Success Club 10. And so what I did was I just upped those numbers, and I probably talked to about 100 people a week, I would say.
Nice. That's good. Awesome. I also loved how you mentioned connect cost to why, because I know when I was a new coach, I was so scared as soon as they asked about, you know, the cost. And then as soon as they told me they couldn't afford it, I would immediately just say, okay, you know, that's okay. Just because I was one of those people that couldn't afford it. So I was just trying to be understandable. But I love that you mentioned that too, though, because you do have to, you know, connect that with them and make them believe in it, because they don't care about the cost, really. They care about, you know, what you can provide them and what it's going to do for them. So I love how you mentioned that. And asking for referrals too, because I never do that. So I think you need to start doing that. I never ever do that, and I always hear people talk about it. But I love your points on that too. Did anybody else have any questions? Any questions at all? I'm still scared when they say they can't afford it.
I totally relate. I want to tell you guys, when I bought my Insanity Challenge pack, I was a senior in college. So I was in college. I was teaching a couple dance classes a week. I did not have an income. I mean, I was making maybe $150 a week. And obviously the Insanity Challenge pack, I think, was $205. So I had to save my money for 3 weeks to be able to buy that. And I wanted to join her group so bad. And it wasn't because I wanted to do Insanity, but I really looked up to this coach that I had connected with. And I just knew it would be worth it because she really did a great job sharing it with me. And so a broke college student can afford it, an Insanity, the most expensive challenge pack. Anybody can. And yeah, it set me back. I was in college, I was broke, and I had to save, but it was worth it. And so I'm just find a story that you have that you can relate, whether or not it was hard for your budget, you can relate on that level somehow to not being able to afford something and it being totally worth it. So just try to empathize and relate.
Absolutely. I was one of those people too. I borrowed money from my mom to join.
Yeah. If you want it bad enough, you'll find a way, right?
Absolutely. Any more questions at all?
I have one. I don't know why you can't see me though.
Oh.
And okay, I had way too much pre-workout. I'm just letting you know, Caitlin, because
I did too. It's okay.
okay, good. So I'm actually currently talking. I've been like talking to her for the last couple weeks, and you hear this clicking on my computer because it's stupid. But she just had a baby like, I don't know, 4 weeks ago, and she just had an 8-day stay in the hospital with mastitis, which is really bad, like bacterial infection. So I haven't really like pushed the whole challenge group on her because I'm just looking back. Hold on. June 8th, she said she was going to sign up. And like, do I just kind of like wait it out and just continue a conversation with her? Or like, I check in with her like every other day, see how she's doing and see if she's like healing up. But like, do I get into like challenge group? And because she was all for it and before she went into the hospital with the infection.
Yeah, if the infection happened after she said she was wanting to sign up, then I would give her a little bit of time. I don't know a lot about that, but I know that it's very painful, and so it's really hard for her to like start working out right now, especially if she's just in the hospital. But like you're doing, like keeping in touch with her, keeping that relationship up, I think that's great. And I don't know how long it takes to like recover from that, but I would say like after a certain period of time to definitely bring the conversation back up. And since you've kept that relationship up and kept connecting with her, she won't feel like offended or anything like that. But if I knew more about it, I might be able to say like a time, but I would just say when she says she's like feeling better and back on her feet and like kind of normal day-to-day life again would be probably a good time to bring it back up.
I just want to be like, hey, how are you feeling? And did you sign up yet?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Shakeology would probably be great for her right now, but I don't know as far as like workouts how much she could do until she's like 100% again.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Chat box. You can unmute yourself. You can raise your hand. I can unmute you. No? All right, cool. I do want to bring up one last point about you saying set high goals, because that's another thing too that I would just set, like the basic, Success Club 5 or 10 every month, just because that's what we want to hit. We want to hit Success Club. So I would always set that, and I would always barely reach it or just reach it. And to me, that wasn't good as a leader, So I just started putting it at 20. Like that's my goal. I need to hit 20. So definitely set your goals high, guys. Even if it's just, your goal of talking to people. If you only talk to 3 to 5 people a day, set it for 10 people. Just boost it up a little bit. You'll definitely see a difference.
For sure. And setting a big goal like that can be kind of scary, but let's say your goal is 20 and you don't quite hit it, but you hit like 14. That's amazing. So the higher you aim, the higher you're going to land.
Exactly. Well, awesome. If nobody else has any more questions, I want to thank you for taking the time, jumping on a call. I loved all your points. I definitely needed to hear it. I know other people needed to hear it too. So thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me.
All right, guys. Have a good night. Bye, guys.